Hey guys, it's Bree. It's January 18th and it's been a really long time since I made a video. Actually, I've tried multiple times to make videos, but
it's been so long since I filmed a video, I can't remember how to sit, how to set up a camera. Should I just have... how do I get me in that center? Hey guys, it's Bree. It's been 7 months since I filmed a book review. Hey guys, it's Bree. Hey guys, it's Bree. Today I'm doing a quick little review of a short story I read on accident after accidentally buying it off Amazon.
they just haven't worked out. So I figured today I'm going to try and start a reading vlog because I have a 4-day weekend actually off from work. So I'm going to try and do a lot of reading, but today I'm going to go run around the mall, going to go watch my little cousin do gymnastics. She loves it. Very proud of her for it. So it'll be fun to watch her have fun doing her gymnastics. I'm rambling now. But so far, I know I'm going to be reading Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I'm doing another Harry Potter reread, but this time on my Kindle instead of audiobook. I just finished A Court of Thorns and Roses, so I might go on to A Court of Mist and Fury. It is my favorite in that trilogy. Which isn't a trilogy anymore, I keep forgetting that. Well, I'm going to go watch my cousin do gymnastics. Hopefully she has fun today, and then I'm going to go to the mall. Maybe go to Barnes & Noble. But one of my goals that I'm going to cover in my reading wrap-up for this month, for 2020, is that I'm not going to buy any more physical books, except for the new Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff book, the sequel to Aurora Rising. I think it's called Aurora Burning. The new Sarah J. Maas book, which I don't remember the name of it. It's our new adult fantasy series. And that vampire book that Jay Kristoff's coming up with. Those are like the only ones I want to buy this year. We'll see how I'm doing. I haven't bought any physical books this year. I am getting some Kindle books, but that's it. I did get a new Kindle for Christmas. 1 second. I'll talk about this more later because I have to go. But I did get the new Kindle Paperwhite Twilight Blue, because of course I love blue. It kind of matches my walls. But it's waterproof. I really like it. I had the old Oasis, an older generation, and it was just really heavy in my hand. It started getting really glitchy and clunky, but I love this. I'll talk about it more later. It's what I'm reading on the most now. But I gotta go to gymnastics, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Hey guys, it's Bree, and it is Saturday night now. I think it's the 18th? Yeah, it's the 18th. I've finished all of my running around for today. I read a little bit earlier, which I'll get to in just a second. I'm washing my bedding now, that's why there's no pillows. But tonight I'm just going to plan on doing some more reading, catching up on a few books because I've been busy all day. I'm also going to watch a movie and work on crocheting. I'm making a scarf right now. Possibly an infinity scarf. We'll see how long it ends up being. Decide then. I have a little bit of crocheting to do. But, like I said earlier, I'm rereading Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I finished Sorcerer's Stone a couple weeks ago. Now I am reading also In the Woods. I forgot what this one. My boyfriend and I have kind of a book club because we're long distance. So we read books together. And this is the one that he picked. This is our 4th book that we've done because we skipped November and December for the holidays. First one we read was Recursion. That was my pick. Neither of us liked it, though I think it was actually really popular. It ended up winning Best Science Fiction Goodreads Choice for 2019. I hated it. He didn't like it. Second one was Lost Queen. That was his pick. It was kind of an origin story for the King Arthur myth and Merlin and all of that, but from the sisters' point of view. We liked the writing, but it was pretty dry. And then the third pick was Kill Creek. That was my pick. And it was kind of a horror book for October. Liked it. Felt like it was a little underdeveloped. Wanted maybe a little bit more from it. So for January, we have this rule. It has to be a book that I already have because one of my 2020 goals is to not buy physical books, like I've said before. And he looked at all my shelves and he said In the Woods. This was his pick. It's now going to be a TV show, I think. I have an older paperback. And we are on chapter 4 starting tomorrow. And then it starts off with this guy when he's a kid in Dublin. Two of his friends, I think, end up going missing. And now he's an adult and he's a detective, and a girl is found near where he grew up. She's been murdered. She's, I think, a 12-year-old girl. So at that point, her family's just been notified. And yeah, we're pretty early on in this one. But I like it overall. He really likes the writing style. I definitely think it's intriguing. I don't notice how many pages I'm reading when I'm reading it, which is always a nice thing, to just kind of to lose yourself in a book. hopefully this goes better because we didn't love any of our first 3 picks. So I'm hoping this one is better. And then I'm wearing a hat right now. I made this while I was watching the very last episode of The Witcher. Never made a hat before, so it's a little tall. That's fine. I might get a palm for it. One of the fuzzy ones that they sell at the craft stores. They're pretty cheap. Might add that, but yeah, tonight I'm going to read some more of Chamber of Secrets. Probably a little bit of Court of Mist and Fury. And then also I got Darling Rose Gold by Stephanie Rowell. I've been reading this a little bit. It's an advanced reader copy that I got for a review. I like the cover kind of, but I was expecting this to be more of a YA, and it seems to be more of a suspense novel. So hopefully I like this one. I don't plan on finishing anytime soon. I've been reading it little by little. It's coming out March 17th of this year, so got a little ways before this one comes out. And if you hear a clicking noise, it's the dryer. It's been very loud lately, getting it fixed. But yeah, I'm gonna work on some crocheting for a little bit, finish rewatching Krampus, just get this, I started it 2 nights ago and just never finished it, so I'll finish this movie tonight and then do some reading.
And I keep wanting to look at the viewfinder. I'm so out of practice with making videos. And I keep forgetting to look here and not there. I'll get used to it again. But
now I'm gonna crochet, watch a movie, hang out. Pretty boring night. Okay. It's Sunday, January 19th now? Yeah, it's the 19th. I am super tired today. I spent the morning just helping my family with some yard work. Went over to my grandparents' house, hung out with my mom for a little bit. Now I'm back home. I'm going to work on some writing right now. I mentioned this more on my blog that I probably have ever mentioned on the channel before, that I like writing a lot. Would love to be a writer one day. Self-published a book a long time ago, which is no longer available on Amazon or anything. Took it down a couple years ago. This year officially should be gone. But I am on chapter 4 of In the Woods. I'm reading that with my boyfriend. He's probably ahead of me. He always reads it before I do. I tend to read the book at night. And then on my Kindle, which I crocheted myself a cover because I didn't want to buy one, and I was bored one day. So on my Kindle, I am halfway through Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Got halfway this morning, and then I am about 10% with A Court of Mist and Fury. I am definitely remembering why I hated Tamlin so much. I remembered being okay with him in the first book, and I read the first book last week, and I didn't remember why I hated him so much. Now I remember. But, so, getting partway through that. Probably do some writing, pick up some more reading in a little bit. Nothing too crazy. Do some yoga later. Might film that, we'll see. Definitely been liking, I quit my gym membership and I started Aloe Moves. I ordered some leggings from them and they gave you a code for free 30 days. And I actually ended up really liking it. It's really fun. And the videos can be like 15 minutes or over an hour, depending on how much energy I have. Today, probably not a lot. Well, I'll check in with you guys later. Okay, bye. Sunday night now? Yeah, it's still Sunday. I spent the past couple hours reading. Now I'm going to go ahead and do some yoga. Figured I'd do that. I've been using Aloe Moves for about a month and a half now. I got a free code when I bought some leggings from them during their Black Friday sale. Normally their leggings are around $100, a little bit more, a little bit less. I got 3 pairs for like $20 each. Great deal if you can wait for them to go on sale. I actually really liked them. I got their Moto legging, airbrush legging, and the goddess legging, which I thought was going to look really weird on me. I actually ended up really liking it. I'll try them on another time. But I did get the subscription to Aloe Moves. I've been doing yoga for 12, 13 years on and off, and I've always really enjoyed it. Used to always do YouTube videos like Tara Stiles. She does Strala yoga, yoga with Adrian, of course. I always really liked those, enjoyed them, but I wanted something a little bit harder to do because I don't go to the gym anymore, and something that was kind of budget friendly because classes around me were pretty expensive. Don't want to go over budget ever, of course. So I'm going to be trying Aloe Moves for a few months. So far I really liked it. If you're looking for something really hard, they have something really easy. You can pick the level you are, so beginner, moderate, intermediate, and advanced, but then you can also pick your intensity. So you can do a 1, which is really just kind of stretching and slow, or you can do like a 4, which is HIIT and high cardio. They also have like bar classes on there. They have some dance things. It's a whole variety. I really like it. If you're into meditating and breathing exercises, they have that. But I'm gonna go ahead and do some yoga and hey guys, it's Bree. It is Monday night, January 20th. January 20th. I did a tiny bit of reading today, but I spent most of the day with my cousin because she was off school for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and we ended up going to see Doolittle, which is such a cute movie, and then we had breakfast for dinner, and it was a good day. But I read about 10% more of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, so I'm about 60% through, and then I still have to read my chapter for the day with my boyfriend. He already read it. He said I'm really gonna like today's chapter, so I'm looking forward to that. But everybody's asleep. All roommates are asleep. Dogs are asleep. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to reading, and I'll check in on you guys tomorrow. Okay, bye.
Hi guys! That is way too low.
It's Bree, and apparently I was just kidding in the last video because I did not check in on Tuesday, and now it's actually the following Sunday. So I figured I'd just give you a second weekend's reading update with Miss Winnie helping out. She's wanting pets right now. Hi, Winnie. So I did end up finishing Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets this past week. I'm now 10% through Harry Potter. Actually, no, I'm 12% now. 12% through Harry Potter and The Prisoner of Azkaban, which is my favorite from when I was a kid. That and then The Goblet of Fire are my two favorites. So I'm excited to get reading. And then we are on chapter 7, I think. Yeah, partway through chapter 7. We had to take a couple days off reading this week. We're both pretty busy, so hopefully by the end of today we'll start chapter 8. And then, what was the other book I was reading? Last weekend I was trying to read A Court of Mist and Fury, which is my favorite of that series, but for some reason I'm just having trouble getting into it. I'm not really enjoying it. I'm bored. Probably because she still is crazy about Tamlin, which I can't stand him, so we'll have to figure that out if I can stand it or not.
Winnie, come on. Winnie, come here. Come here, Winnie. Come here. Do you want a toy? You want a bear? What about... She might be ignoring me. She might be. Hi, Winnie. Hi. Okay, she's just staring at me now.
But yeah, so overall good reading. I might start another book. I've really been wanting to continue the Witcher series. I've read Last Wish, Blood of Elves, and Time of Contempt. I have Sword of Destiny. Sword of Destiny, which is the, is it novellas, short stories collection? It's before Blood of Elves. I have to read that one. I have the 3rd book in the main series, 4th and 5th book left, and then I think there's a prequel novel that's just Geralt. But I've been obsessed with it. I've been reading for the past 2 years, and I just keep picking them up slowly when they're on sale on Kindle. I am telling myself not to buy them right now, but I really want to. So we'll see if I start reading one of those soon. Maybe I'll just pick up another book from my bookshelves, which are right here. I'm looking around. Maybe a mystery, maybe a fantasy. I'm not really sure which I'm gonna pick. I'm looking at the Wondersmith, The Calling of Morgan Crow. That looks kind of good. So maybe a middle grade. I'm not really sure. I'm kind of in a semi-reading slump. Like, I'm still enjoying reading, and then the book I'm reading with boyfriend. Those are going good, but I kind of want something different for the third book I'm reading. On average, I'm reading about 3 books at a time, which is not that much. It's better than when I used to read like 6 at a time. That was way too much. But yeah, so this weekend, plan on reading this a little bit more. I am writing more. I finally found, I have it started as a Sleeping Beauty retelling. Now it's got a lot of fae elements to it. It's an adult high fantasy. It's gotten very long, very convoluted, very bloody. I'm excited to write it, but I had lost the one file that was the full length. I found my synopsis I'd written, I found the first chapter I wrote, and I was freaking out because I couldn't find the other almost 100 pages that I had written, and found that yesterday, so I'm gonna work on that today. Then I have there's 2 YAs I'm working on. One's more of a fantasy, the other's contemporary. And then the one that I think is really fun is kind of more of a paranormal fiction for adults, potentially new adult. It's kind of borderline. I haven't written enough of it yet to decide which it fits better into, but it's got ghosts and things in it, maybe some demons. Of course, I'm going to incorporate some Eastern European mythology into it, folklore, and I'm excited. It's been a lot of fun to do research on. That's probably one of my favorite parts of writing, is first coming up with just the idea. That part's really fun, and getting it out on paper and trying to figure out character names and all that. That's a lot of fun. And then the other part I really enjoy is the research of the different things, which actually, let me grab the book that I used to plot this one out, because I'm usually not a plotter. I just kind of write out a quick idea, throw it on paper, and then just write and see what happens. But let me go grab that book really quick because I actually really liked it. So 1 second. Okay, so I did get out of the habit of writing there for a little while. This past year wasn't good for reading, it wasn't good for writing. Had a lot changing, was trying to adjust to it, and can only focus on so many things at a time sometimes, and those are the 2 that didn't do great. So to get back into writing, I actually picked this up really cheap at Barnes & Noble. It's Complete the Story. Each page is the beginning of a sentence. Like this one is, I watched the hawk high in the sky float and float and float. Then it tucked its head in and dove like a missile straight toward, and then you fill out the rest of the page with a story. I started doing that every day for a month or 2 just to kind of get back into thinking that way, getting used to writing, and it's only a page so it's not too stressful, whereas when you're trying to write a whole story, you got chapters and tons of pages. And then I kind of participated in NaNoWriMo. I more used it not to write truly like NaNoWriMo because that just wouldn't have worked with my work schedule and everything. I did pick up the Writer's Workbook Ready, Set, Novel. I wanted to say right, it's not right. And it takes you through all these different things. I won't show you because you get weird about sharing your writing when the story's not quite done because you're not sure if you want to change it yet. But chapter 1 is storming your brain. It's just getting a bunch of ideas out and trying to get you to narrow down your idea to one solid thing. Chapter 2 was creating your characters. You have like different profiles. What do they like? What don't they like? Hypothetical stories that you fill out for each character, which is really, that was kind of fun to play around with. And your characters' timelines, like you can go from birth, you can go from a certain point in time. I chose birth to the beginning of my story, is how I did mine with my main character, which her name's Natalie for now. I kind of like the name. She's got some good nicknames. Chapter 3 is plotting your story, which is not something I normally do. So you got to play around with that, and it goes through different prompts and step by step, so it's not overwhelming. And if you do like a page or an activity a day, it really makes you think about things that normally by the time I get to the middle of writing a story, I realize I never thought about it, and you have to go back and change things, and it's just a hassle. This is really nice. It makes you think about that, so when you go in, you already know. And writer's block hasn't been as bad with this story. I know where I want things to go. Sometimes getting the scene to go correctly is kind of iffy. and you have to sit there and think about that for a while, but I haven't had that what's going to happen next kind of writer block. It's set out, I know what I want, and that's been a nice change. Chapter 4 is exploring your setting, which I kind of wanted to do before chapter 3, but I went in order. Maybe next time I might do this again. I'll switch them around. Exploring your setting, you can draw a map, I think, and you can go through names, histories, what does this place mean to your character, all of that, and you kind of get more deeply rooted in that setting. Chapter 5 is heading into the blank page. You just start writing, which isn't too bad, and you kind of come up with titles, naming, you kind of come up with a name library, like different words you like, different things combine. Name your novel, breaking the blank page, all of that. There's some funny things like here's a high five, you did good, and then kick in the pants, so to like make you start writing. And then there's pages in the back that are kind of blank if you're ever at a point where you're having trouble writing, and it kind of says, this one for example, send your protagonist to a psychic, what does she find out? And like each one's different, and it kind of gets you out of that rut where you're still writing with your characters but they're not in the story anymore, so it can help you think about things. And then the other thing that I kind of liked when I didn't want to write was the procrastination station in the very back, and it is famous authors and you can color them, so that part's kind of funny. And then there's a little folder in the very back where you can tuck your notes as you make them, because sometimes I would be out and about and think of something but I wouldn't have my book with me, so I could just tuck it in there when I got home and add it wherever it fit in the book. But I like this. If you've never done plotting before, it can be nice to kind of get into it. I was more just write it and see what happens, which is fun, but can get you into some trouble when you're writing. But yeah, that's what I'm doing today, working on a class online that I've been doing. So that's been fun. Yeah, nothing too crazy. I plan on reading some more. I'll update some more. I'm gonna do a couple videos. I have some ideas going through my ARC collection, because I do have a pile of physical ARCs now, not just Nat Galley. Go through those. Maybe a lot of them are already out and I have to read them. I got them after they came out. So do reviews on those, talk about them, just go through the collection. And then what was the other one I was gonna do? I was gonna talk about how I've changed my approach to getting books, reading books. What have I canceled? Because I've canceled some memberships recently that really helped me before and now weren't helping me as much, so I went ahead and moved away from them. Talk about that, talk about my 2020 reading goals, which aren't super strict. I just have a few things that I changed from last year, because last year I didn't read very much and honestly that it was bugging me, so I changed some things this year to try and make reading fun again, because it felt like a chore last year when I was trying to do it. So do that, January wrap up, those kinds of videos I'm going to be working on in the next couple weeks. I'm not going to have a designated upload day because work is crazy, family, it get busy, and just now getting back into it. So I'll try and post more regularly, at least a couple a month, 1 to 2 minimum. But yeah, see how it works out. And hopefully Winnie wants to be in more videos. And she's napping right now. So, well, I will check in with you guys soon in another video. But until then, have a good day.